Welcome to DIYTryin.
Fix something old.
I'm Patty Norton.
I'm Michael Hand.
And we are the guys here at Discovery Digital Networks that people walk up to and go, hey, can you fix this?
We have a whole pile of junk, but in that junk, there's a whole lot of headphones.
Headphones seem to be the things people that love electronics and phones and music tend to blow out constantly. You are perhaps the worst destroyer of headphones I've ever seen.
I'm real bad. I probably go through a pair of headphones once every month.
Which is crazy. So the $23 headphones from Monoprice.
These have lasted close to a year now because they have the removable cord, so if I ruin it, then it's fine.
He just plugs in another cord. That's easy to make.
So the pretty common issue with headphones is that you start getting one channel of audio and you kind of have to wiggle the cord so that you get both. And it's a pretty common issue, but it's also a pretty easy issue to fix.
Is it all about replacing, more often than not, that?
Exactly.
This is the standard 1/8" stereo phono plug as used in consumer electronics portable applications around the world. I guess in the rest of the world they call it some measurement in millimeters. 3.5 millimeters?
3.5 millimeters.
Yes.
You can also find them as TRS connectors if you're going for stereo, TRRS if you have a microphone adapter. But we got these at Radioshack. They're super cheap. They come in packs of 2 usually.
You can buy fancy audiophile grade ones all over the place. You can spend as much as you want. The problem is though with the wire inside of headphone cables is almost invariably incredibly tiny, and it has a special feature.
It's covered in an enamel sort of coating, which makes it so you can't just straight solder the wires that are in there because they're insulated. So first we have to get off the enamel coating.
Okay.
There's a few ways to do this. I've seen people mention that you can use an aspirin tablet with a soldering iron, that it does a good job of making kind of a goo that strips it off.
So acetylsilic acid, apply heat, don't inhale. Or maybe inhale. Could be a big thing.
See how it works. You can also take sandpaper and kind of rub it down, but the issue I have with that is I usually rub too much and then the wire breaks off. But my preferred method is fire. So what you can do is actually just burn off the edges. So you don't want to put it on there too long, but it'll actually start
a little fire.
Start a little fire, and it'll go out by itself. But just keep in mind that this is all.
Should we tell people to do this in a room with good ventilation?
Good ventilation. Don't do this because lawsuits or whatever.
I think what Michael's trying to say is don't light yourself on fire, don't light your house on fire, don't light your workshop on fire, and if you did, remember, we warned you to have a fire extinguisher nearby, and if you're underage as in not an adult, ask your parents before you start doing things with lighters and soldering irons, please.
So once you burn off the enamel coating, you'll see the actual wire underneath, so you just want to kind of get off the burnt edges. I usually just use my nail and it works fine. The first thing that I always do, because I always forget to do this, is put on the little, in this case we have a little screw-on cover for the TRS mount.
There's nothing more irritating than finishing this job, have this beautiful soldering job on your new 1/8" phono jack and realizing that you have to take it all off or run it uncovered. So do we want to, which one, how do we know like which channel is the center channel? Is it standardized?
In my experience, it is pretty standard. So gold is gonna be ground, red is gonna be the right channel, and green is gonna be the left channel, which is the center pin.
Aha, okay, so because I was gonna say, well, I don't see red or gold or green on any of these
pins.
So
these Radioshack ones don't actually tell you what it is, but I've done this so many times that the center pin is green, outer pin is red, and then the really long, what would you call this? The long thing is
the ground.
gold. We should probably tin the wires a little bit. So you pretty much put a little bit of solder on the iron and then you just kind of rub it onto the wire. Let's do ground first. So with these particular connectors, I find it's kind of easier just to stick it in the hole first and then put over the solder. All right, so we got the ground wire, then remember red is right, or red is the longer pin, and green is the...
Righty-tighty, ready-loosey.
Green is the center pin.
Got it. Michael gets busy with the soldering iron and the new headphone jack. This is a good time to thank our sponsor, lynda.com/DIY. And Michael, I believe you had a lynda.com video in mind.
If you hate soldering, you can check out their solderless breadboarding tutorial with Arduinos. It kind of works, right?
I like breadboarding. Breadboarding is fun.
lynda.com/DIY. Just a little glob of solder and it's usually good. Ventilation, we mentioned that, right? All right, and we're done soldering. And cue the fan. Great timing. So just snip off any extra wires that you have hanging out. And then in this case, it has a tension release, so we can kind of squish that down. Just screw this on. So in theory, our headphone should work. All right, so I have a particular song that I like using when testing out headphones. It's Nowhere Man by the Beatles.
Ooh, good
and
call.
the reason why I like this song is because you start it, and it starts only in the right channel. So it's a good 15 seconds before you know whether it's actually working or not. Both?
It
Both
works.
ears? Great. One thing to note, if your headphones have a mic jack, then you'll need a TRRS connector, which is the one with kind of 3 rings in there instead of the 2 rings for a normal stereo connection. And inside of the wires, you'll see, instead of having the red, green, and gold, you'll have red, green, gold, and usually a red and green wrapped around each other.
Let me guess, the red and green wrapped around each other is for the microphone.
Yes. So everything else will stay consistent. Bless you.
And by the way, if this is your first soldering project, be patient. Make sure you have a set of proper wire strippers if you've never, because the wires are really fine, that'll help out a lot. Use a fan of some type. Michael and I are determined to kill each other. I'm apparently now allergic to soldering smoke. Does your brain still hurt?
No, just my lungs.
Just your lungs?
Yeah.
Just his lungs. Lung transplants are
It's
easy.
fine.
Well, use a fan. Have a fan blowing the smoke away from you, or better yet, sucking the smoke away from you.
But I do think this is a good project to try out because one, you could keep on retrying by cutting the wire and shoving it in, and then worst case scenario, you still have broken headphones if you fail.
Hey, DIYTryin, people. Go out there and get your hands dirty. Or in this case, cut some cables, do some soldering, and keep the fumes out of your lungs.
We're on Twitter at DIYTryin, DIYTryin.com, DIYTryin at revision3.com.
Please subscribe, email, contact us, or send us project ideas, or better yet, send us some of the projects you've been working on. We would love to see them.
Yeah.
I'm Patrick Norton.
I'm Michael Ann.
We'll see you next week on DIYTryin. And worst case scenarios, you end up, well, actually, you know, if it... Ah!